Hi guys, welcome to the 12 days of foundation. Today is day number 1. We are just getting started with probably one of the more highly requested foundations or tinted moisturizers that you have been asking me to. Hi guys, welcome to the 12 days of foundation, day number 1. I'm going to be reviewing 12 foundations in 12 days. Every review will include application, before and after, a flash photo test. I'll show you how it looks in natural light and of course at the end of the day, and there will always be timestamps down below. Today we are chatting about something that was pretty highly requested, so I figured it would be review number 1, and that is the Colourpop Pretty Fresh Tinted Moisturizer. So I ended up ordering 3 shades of the tinted moisturizer and 3 shades of the concealer because I just had no idea what shade I would be. So I will also include some face swatches in this video, and I will have a blog post down below where I'm swatching this next to some more popular shades of foundation if you're still trying to figure out your shade. And as always, there's also links below for more oily skin content, the shades I have in other foundations. There's tons of links down there, but let's go ahead and get started. So like I said, I picked up 3 different shades of this. It retails for $14 American on the Colourpop website, and if you're living in Canada, it seems that they're actually shipping out of Canada now, so looks like we'll be incurring no customs fees anymore, which I think is the case. That's what I've experienced the last few times anyway. So this first shade that I swatched is the lightest one, which is medium dark 15. Then the next one that I have is medium dark 16N. So this is supposed to be more neutral. The first one that I swatched is warm, and then the third one here is the 17N. Again, a neutral. So the thing about this product is it's very light coverage. So although it can be tricky to pick out your shade online, first of all, I always recommend scouring YouTube and blogs to find somebody who is a similar shade to you wearing the foundation, but it is very light coverage, so it's going to be a little bit more forgiving in terms of finding a shade match. That being said, when I looked online, like, there was someone who was like much lighter than me wearing 18, which like the deepest one I have on my face now is 17. Someone way darker than me wearing like a lighter shade. It was very, very confusing. So my first complaint is the fact that these shades don't match up with their other foundation shades. Like, just make it easy for me to purchase, even if they aren't going to be exactly the same. Like, just like these are like 17s and whatever else. The sticks were in the hundreds, so it just, like, you know, it makes it much harder to pick out your shade. And if I did not have a YouTube channel, there's no way I would go purchase 3 shades of this product just to find my own shade, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna wear the 16 today. I've worn the 15 as well, but I'm gonna wear the 16 today just because I do have some color. So I have about a pump and a half of product out on my hand, and this side of my face has been primed, and I'm just gonna pat it on. I'm gonna use a brush today. This is the e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush. A brush will give you a little bit more coverage. It has a very, very light consistency. It also contains hyaluronic acid, and you're getting a ton of product in here. I don't know if you can tell, but the bottle is quite big. You get 1.45 fluid ounces, so kind of a foundation and a half, technically. And if you buff it, I'm fighting against like construction or something here in my building. I keep having to stop while they drill, and it's infuriating. So I actually just pumped out 2 more pumps, so that's now 3.5 pumps. As I always say with any light coverage products, if you stipple it into your skin and kind of push it in, you're gonna get better coverage. A denser brush will give you better coverage, but also don't buy this product if you're hoping to build it up to like even to medium. It's very light, and it's not that buildable. It's meant to be lightweight. I don't see that as like a bad thing, but you just don't want to put too much on your face. It says it's an oil-free product as well. It's meant to be hydrating, lightweight, because you've got that hyaluronic acid in there, which is great if you do have oilier skin. As a good hydrator, that's not going to be something heavy. So I still have a little bit of product left on my hands, but I'm going to leave it there. So I think you can see this gives very light but even coverage. It feels incredibly lightweight on the skin and looks that way. It by no means looks heavy or anything like that, and blends out super, super easily. So now for my concealer, I also picked up the Pretty Fresh concealer, and like I said, I bought 3 of these as well. I love the other Colourpop concealer. If I had to compare that to this one, I would say this one still has quite a bit of coverage in it, especially because you'd think the concealer to match the hyaluronic acid tinted moisturizer would be very light, but it still has quite a bit of coverage. It is, however, a little bit more hydrating than their original concealer if you had problems with that, because this also contains hyaluronic acid. So I do like this, but I picked up 3 different shades, if you can see them swatched on my hand. So the first shade here is medium dark 120W, which is what I'm going to wear under my eyes. It's kind of has like a yellowy undertone, which is what I like under my eyes. The medium 125 neutral in the middle. I don't know if you can tell, but in my opinion that does not look neutral. It looks like straight up peachy pink. And then on the end here, I could potentially use this to spot conceal. This is medium dark 145W. So hopefully that helps you a little bit in terms of picking your shades. And they do also on their website have like a shade matcher, but that honestly left me kind of more confused. But it is an option. I would say in terms of like pairing this concealer and tinted moisturizer, it wouldn't necessarily be the type of product that I would pair with the tinted moisturizer. I would maybe like to have seen a bit of a lighter coverage concealer to contrast their existing formula, but I do like this concealer. I'm just going to pat it out under my eyes. I always like letting a concealer set for just a second under my eyes, maybe 20-30 seconds, and then pat it out with my fingers. That's how I get the best coverage. And then just blend the surrounding portions with a brush. And I don't want to put on too much of that concealer because the rest of my face is quite light in terms of coverage, and the concealer is more on the full side. So I'm going to go ahead and take some flash photos, put on the rest of my makeup, and I will be right back. So now that I have the rest of my makeup on, I think you can see it looks pretty good. It looks super natural. It's definitely more matte now that I've put a powder on top of it. I also love pairing tinted moisturizers with powder foundations because you get a little bit more coverage and a little bit more longevity depending on the powder foundation. So something to keep in mind if you are looking to amp up your coverage, or you can also spot conceal after you put on the tinted moisturizer. Like I've got a couple breakouts here and I didn't really work particularly hard to cover them. I'm not that bothered by them. But yeah, I think it looks really good. As for flash photos, I thought it performed well. There's no claims of SPF on this product. So here in my studio lighting, I thought it looked good. There's a bit of a sheen to my skin. And then when I took a flash photo in a completely dark room, I think you can see like I have my concealer on here too. So there's a little bit of lightness under my eyes. My face is not as warm as my body, but that's kind of always the case because my body does hold color much more than my face. So sometimes I don't have like a lot of matching from my face to my body to do, but I think it looks pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead about my day and I will check back with you in a few hours in some natural light. Hey guys, coming to you in some natural light for my midday check-in. I started this review really late in the day and it is now winter where the sun sets as soon as it comes up. So I had to do my check-in now, but I think you can see that things look really good. Nothing has oxidized. This is the prime side, this is the unprimed side, and I don't see a major difference between the two. I definitely don't need to blot, and as I mentioned before, my skin is not as oily as it once was, so that is something to keep in mind. But I will continue to wear it, and I forgot to mention, but I have reviewed the Colourpop liquid foundation along with the Colourpop stick foundation, so those will both be linked down below, but I will see you guys this evening. Hello, we are here at the end of the day and I think that things look really good. I don't see a huge, I was just checking, I don't see a huge difference between primed and unprimed side of my face. Both sides held up really well in terms of like nothing really rubbing off, no major oxidization. I did lose a little coverage around my nose, but that can tend to happen, and because this is a lighter coverage product, it's not going to look as obvious if it's like something super full coverage that rubs off. It still feels very lightweight on my skin. I think it still looks really good as well. So overall, I really enjoy this product, and like with all my reviews, this is not a first impression. I have worn this a bunch. I was actually initially wearing the shade 15, so I'll link a Instagram tutorial where I'm wearing that shade down below, and I think you can see like both shades kind of work. I also forgot to mention, but both the concealer and the tinted moisturizer have really good shade ranges. So whether you are fair to very deep or something in between, I think you should be able to find a shade in there, and that I really appreciate. The only thing I don't appreciate is the fact that the shades are not like consistent between lines, just to help yourself pick it out. But as it becomes, you know, as it is out a little bit longer, you will be able to watch more reviews. But like I said in the beginning, I do feel like it is a very forgiving formula in terms of matching yourself. Do I love this more than my NARS Pure Radiant Tinted Moisturizer because that's kind of my gold standard? No, but that is much more high-end than this product. I still think that this is great. If you have normal skin or even combo skin, I think you're really gonna like this. It stuck around really nicely on me, and I'm kind of in a combo place right now. I do still have a sweaty face, but I didn't have a particularly sweaty face day. But if I had oily skin, like very oily skin, or even if I was having a sweaty face day, I feel like this is one of those products that as soon as I put it on my face, I would feel a little bit uncomfortable with the I guess the finish of it. Not that it necessarily felt greasy, but it just didn't really seem like it's gonna stick around. So I would recommend using a mattifying primer, probably like a matte powder foundation on top and a setting spray. I don't know that it's going to be the longest wearing ever on oily skin, and it doesn't really claim to be like an incredibly long wearing matte oily skin friendly kind of thing. It does just kind of claim to be more lightweight, oil free, very, very light coverage as well. So it's something you may need to test out for yourself. But if you have tried this and you would like to let us know in the comments section what you think of it and what your skin type is, that could be really, really helpful to other people, because, you know, my opinion is only one opinion. I can only speak to my personal experience. So let us know what you think down below if you have tried it or if you are curious to try it. But overall, I think it's a great lightweight tinted moisturizer, good shade range, good wear time, and a great price. Thank you so much for joining me on day 1 of the 12 days of foundation. If you'd like to connect with me, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at SamanthaJaneYT, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!